Greetings, BookTube, and welcome to the Wild Digest. I'm Scott, your host, and slightly different angle for this video. It's November, new month. We'll try something different. Because it's November, we have a lot of people out there who have been doing their TBR videos. There are loads of reading events going on this month, including Die November, Dr. November, Nonfiction November. But I had already hinted in a previous video that I decided I was going to do something a little bit different this month and kind of avoid the reading events and the themed events and just kind of do some catch up. I've got a lot of books behind me. You can see a bunch of yellow spine daws back there, and I just need to start chipping away at the stacks. So I figured the easiest thing to do is to do a random number generator and to pick a handful of books off of my spreadsheet. And I've run it. I did use calculator.net because they allow you to get multiple results, and it's a pretty user-friendly interface. And I matched it up with my spreadsheet. And as I said, my spreadsheet has almost all of my books on there. Almost all. There's a lot still missing off of that list. But I had a top number, I think, of 322 to pick from. And I ran it. And these were my results. Now, I did a fairly low number, a fairly conservative number for this month, and I'll explain why before we get to those random numbers. I was at my favorite bookshop yesterday. No, 2 days ago, Iliad Books. And I was just popping in. I happened to be on that side of town running some errands, and I thought I would pop in and do my usual random scan of the shelves. No mission whatsoever. I don't even think I looked at my list, my want list. And I happened to see on in the P's under poll, I saw this book. This is Undersea Quest by Pohl and Williamson. And I grabbed it because I'm actually working on a writing project right now that has to do with undersea stuff. It's a science fiction thing, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that down the line. But when I saw this, I thought, "Ooh, that looks pretty dang cool," and it's got a great cover by David Mattingly, as you can see there. And also, the other neat thing about it is it's mighty slim. I think it's only like 153 pages, 154. So I went ahead and I grabbed that, not realizing that right next to it were the other two books in the trilogy. So I got Undersea Fleet, also by Pohl and Williamson, and the third book, which is Undersea City. And these are the stories of Cadet James Eden, and he's part of the Subsea Academy. So I thought, you know what, let me go ahead and grab all three of those. The prices on them, I think one was $2 and the other two were $2.50 each, so not lots of money. And because they are all slim little volumes, I thought, well, why don't I go ahead and just read those for the month? So these are going to be my, this is technically my first book of the month, and I'm already well into Undersea Quest, and it's a lot of fun. It kind of has the feel of a juvenile, but I'm not 100% sure if that was the original intent. I'll do some more research on the books down the line and maybe do a sort of a review of the trilogy once I get through it. But that is book one, these 3 volumes, and that's what I'm going to be reading to start the month off. So I only went ahead and entered 4 different selections, 4 different selections, let me put that to the side, for the rest of the month. And if by some stretch I get through all of these, including those 3 of that trilogy, then I can always bring up some more. But it's going to be all random selections, and these were my results, and I was pretty happy to find these. I'm pretty happy to get these, rather, because I was talking about wanting to read some Westerns, and I got lucky, because I have a fair selection of Westerns that have gone untouched. So the first book that came up in when I did the random number generation thingy was The Horse Soldiers, one of the Best of the West books, edited by Pronzini and Greenberg. I have about a dozen of these, and I've read 1 or 2 of them already, and they are They're inconsistent. There's some good stuff in there. There's some not so great stuff, but they have gone out of their way to try to theme the books to the best of their ability. I looked at the table of contents on this one. The only real standouts is there's an Elmore Leonard story in there, The Colonel's Lady, which I've never read before. So the nice thing about that is I can dip into this throughout the month. So read a story or two, take a break, read a novel, read a couple more stories, whatever. And we'll see how far we get. But happy to have some short stories for the month that I can burn through. Speaking of Westerns, the second book that came up when I ran the random number generator thing was this Max Brand novel, Mystery Ranch. I've read some Max Brand before. I really liked his stuff. It's quick, another real slim little volume. It's one of these little shorty pocket editions, 25-cent cover price. So that'll be the next thing I read. Mystery Ranch by Max Brand, and that should be a lot of fun. It's not in great shape. It'll hopefully survive my reading, but so some more Westerns. No more Westerns for the rest of the month, but I'm really happy with the remaining two books. The third pick that came up was one of the Shel Scott books, Kill Me Tomorrow. This is these are great. I have a big stack of these. My father was a huge Shel Scott fan, and he got me into these later in life. And this is by Richard S. Prather. I have a little sticker I put on there, book 35. Prather wrote a bunch of these, and this one apparently chronologically was the 35th. So it's much later in the sequence, but I don't think it doesn't really matter. You can read these out of order. They're just Prather doing his investigative stuff with his crazy style, mostly LA based, lots of fun, fairly light, but that'll be a lot of fun to read through. And then the fourth pick, completely different from everything else, is this Jennifer Roberson Shape Changers, Chronicles of the Chasuli, book 1. I've never read these books, and this is the Daw Yellowspine edition of that. Which I'm pretty excited about because I think the later editions looked radically different than this. And because this is a Daw, what is this, 564 or something like that. So much, much later down in the Yellowspine run. And when the subsequent books came out, I think they looked radically different. So, and I'm glad it's book 1 because the random number generator I ran it prior to these 4. And it started to kick back stuff that was like book 2 in a series or book 3 in a series. And I'm not going to really do that. That's kind of silly. So that's it. That is my conservative stack for the month of November so far. These are the books in question. You can see them all there. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading through these. It's a nice... completely diverse selection of stuff. We've got undersea science fiction, we have Western short stories, a Western novel, a Shel Scott private eye book, and a fantasy novel. So a good mix, and I'm really looking forward to diving in. I mean, I've already dove in to the undersea books, and so far those are the first one is great. So enjoying that. And we'll see how quickly I can plow through those so I can get to the next book in my stack. So anyway, that's my work in progress TBR for the month of November. I will have another video coming up very, very soon. I love when people talk about their problems on their YouTube channels. In my case, I actually shot a 25-minute video this morning, which was my 10 favorite covers video. And when I was done, I realized that a setting in OBS Studio was wrong, and it enraged me. So I have to go back and re-record that. I will hopefully do that very, very soon, and I will drop that video shortly. So keep an eye out for that if you're watching these in chronological order. If not, doesn't matter. You just watched a TBR video for November 1st, and that should be more than enough. That's it. Okay, anyway. Thank you very, very much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for liking. And I will see you in the next video.